Hi, everyone. I'm CBS 19 Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony here in the Weather Center with Joe Robinson and Jamie Hazard on this Saturday afternoon, October 18th, with a tornado watch in effect until 9 p.m. It does include the city of Tyler. Also, Mineola would be included in that. City of Lindale, all the way through Jacksonville, Rusk, all the way down to Lufkin, and then points to the east over toward the Louisiana border. This goes until 9 p.m. Currently, there are no tornado warnings in effect here across parts of East Texas, just this watch. We are streaming on our Facebook page, so we thank you for watching us there. We're also watching the questions if you have any. We have Jamie Hazard answering those for us, along with Joel Robinson, and then, of course, we're streaming on our YouTube channel and on CBS 19 Plus. So we appreciate you hanging out with us on this Saturday afternoon, just kind of riding through these storms with us. This is a look outside currently, and you can see a little shower just kind of passing over top. Let's go back to that other view. Not sure why. Go back to the, or it just switched itself. That's weird. Okay, so we're looking north here from the Chase Bank building camera, and you can see there are lots of showers and thunderstorms off to the north. There's a little lower topped storm due north, which I'll look at here in just a second. The conditions outside, 86 degrees, so it took a little while, but we got warm and humid conditions to develop. The dew points earlier today were a little bit higher. They were in the mid-70s. They've come down just a little bit, but still plenty humid enough to support severe weather. West-southwest winds at 10 miles an hour. Sunsets, again, I'll point this out at 6:45. If we can get all the thunderstorms out of here before the sun sets, we have a better idea, a better capability of seeing what is moving through the area. I mean, for instance, we can just look and we can see the tops of the clouds. We can see the structure of the clouds. We know if we're looking at something that potentially could be dropping a lowering. Where you live, you might be able to see the base of a cloud better. So as long as these thunderstorms are moving through while it's still daylight, that's better for us. We get after dark, then it's a little bit harder to see. It's a little bit harder to get some ground truth when we look at radar and then when we look at the clouds. But why I bring that up is we're hoping these thunderstorms are out of here by 6:45, and that's a possibility. The watch goes until 9 o'clock, but it does include a pretty good portion. I'll just back this up for a second so you can see the watch. It includes a good portion of Louisiana and southwest Arkansas. So this goes until 9, which means that 7, 8, 9 o'clock, you've got the storms over on the other side of the border. So let's hope in the next, let's say we've got about 4 hours to go, we can get those thunderstorms in and out of here in that time. We just switched this shot up here. It looks like a live picture, a little bit of rain coming down right now outside the CBS 19 studios. So this is going to be Troop Highway going north toward downtown. You have the loop going west out toward the mall, and then the loop coming back toward the east. That would be headed over toward, I think, Green Acres, and in those areas. No, Green Acres is up to the north. Anyway, 86 degrees outside at Tyler Pounds. Dew points are currently in the lower 70s, and we have the west-southwest winds. All right, so here's CBS 19 live radar, and it does look like they allowed this severe thunderstorm warning in southern Rusk County near Cushing to either expire or they canceled it early, and I believe they might have canceled it early.
Yes.
It had weakened substantially from what it did look like. The lightning has come down on it. It doesn't look like it's producing. The fear here was for some quarter-sized hail and some stronger winds, but the structure of that storm just doesn't look like it's supporting that at all. I'm starting to hear the rain on the roof here at the television station, so we'll kind of come up here into Tyler. We were getting questions on Facebook about Tyler and rain, and there's no lightning right now, so it's just a heavy downpour. We are located right here, southeast loop, as I showed you, and then of course 110 Troop going down to the south. So it's raining pretty hard just down Broadway, also near the mall, and then going across the south end of Grande, and then farther to the south toward Flint, 155 out toward Noonday, also some heavier rain at this time. It's not severe, it's just raining kind of hard in Tyler. So if you're asking, what about Tyler? Well, this is the rain right now. Now, I can't rule out that we won't get another shower that would come in, but remember, Tyler and Smith County are on the edge of the tornado watch, and so unless this storm here near Gun Barrel City were to pick up storm or pick up some intensity, then we may be okay in Tyler once we get rid of this cell and it moves off to the northeast. The best buoyancy that we see for potential for tornadoes exists kind of right in here and a little bit farther to the east. And if you want to even narrow that down a little bit more, the best area for potential development of a tornado is right in here, across deep East Texas, including Angelina County, Nacogdoches County, over toward Shelby, San Augustine, and Sabine County. But this is probably the bullseye. And look at this cell here that moved out of Houston County into that area. So we're going to watch that cell very carefully here in southern Houston County, across northeastern Trinity County, into western Angelina County. Okay, that's the area. This area here has the best support or dynamics that would support a rotating thunderstorm. Very warm and humid there, and this cell was by itself and now it's clustering up again, so that's a good sign. So if we had clusters of thunderstorms that don't have their own environment to feed on, that's better. Just looking at this Jasper storm, this looks like it was spinning a little bit. So let's watch southern Sabine County. Also, I may zoom in on that one down toward Jasper just to see if it's increasing in lightning. So if that's increasing in lightning, then the south end of Toledo Bend, if you know anybody who's fishing on the south end of Toledo Bend, they need to probably get off the lake right now, because that thunderstorm is roaring into southern Sabine County, and it has a lot of rain with it and a ton of lightning. And it does look like it was spinning just a little bit. I don't see as much as what it looked like perhaps a couple of frames ago. All right, let me pan over here to the west toward Groveton. Looking at that was the cell that's moving into the environment that would be real conducive for perhaps a quick spin up into Angelina County. We're coming up here to the north. We had this severe thunderstorm warned storm right there. No longer a warning on that cell as it moves across southern Rusk County toward Panola County. South of Marshall right now, that's just looks like a shower, maybe not even any rain or thunder in that. And then you come back here toward Troop and Tyler. So you're going to get a little quick downpour. Jacksonville toward Tyler, up toward Betty, over toward Longview. So if you live in Longview and you're wondering what's going to happen for me, you're going to get some rain here in just a little bit. We are currently under a lightning delay in Kilgore, where the football game at Kilgore College is currently held up, or at least it was being delayed, according to Jimmy Searfoss, who's out there covering it for us this afternoon. Then from Oak Grove across Lake Fork. Right now, Lake Fork, it's pouring in Lake Fork, so hopefully all the boaters are off Lake Fork. Back here toward Van Zant County, then out toward that Cedar Creek Lake, so the thunderstorms come off there. Tawakoni is about to get that thunderstorm. And if you notice, the thunderstorms are moving west to east out of the Dallas area, straight due east. All right, so let's go back here. I'll freeze this in time and put this back to its current date. I've got Joel Robinson in the Weather Center with me. Joel, let's pan or time out that one south of Laneville and see exactly where that's going. These storms.
All right. We also do have some questions in our chat.
Okay.
Jamie wants to read that real quick.
Jamie,
Yes.
you want to handle those questions?
Yeah, so is it going to be rough for Mineola?
Let's see, we'll pan on over to Mineola real quick. So there's Canton, there's Tyler. Mineola is going to be right here. You have a shower that's coming in. There's no lightning with this, but there is a little tiny shower that's coming in. This is all just ahead of a cold front. I do expect that some of these storms over here may materialize even a little bit more, especially as that cold front moves in a little bit closer. But at this point, nothing severe. Definitely expect at least some rain at that point. It's moving, let's take a look. We'll put this into motion here. So just a little tiny shower. There's one just southwest of Canton. If that continues in its track, you could get a shower within the next 20 to 30 minutes. But at this time, we're not expecting anything severe or any thunder or lightning with this at all.
Okay, can we take a look at Lindale and how that will be looking for the wine festival? Jesus Martinez is asking.
Okay, yes. Right now, Lindale is looking fine, kind of intermittent on and off showers right now. Again, can't rule out rain completely, especially within the next couple of hours as that cold front continues to track further to the south and east. However, what we have going on right now is just a couple of showers that may just miss Lindale to the north. So that's some good news there for the wine festival, but still would have that umbrella handy just in case you do have another shower that comes through, especially given this really unstable environment. Real quick, I want to move back to this cell in Laneville. I want to time out what's going on there. These storms are moving pretty slow. They're moving at around 25 miles per hour to the northeast. And given how much rain there is within each of these cells, definitely flash flooding or just at least flooding is going to be a possible issue. So we got Lawsonville with this cell aiming for that area around 316. We also have Pine Hill at 323 and Dotson at 328. And this was a cell that was severe thunderstorm warned, but that has been allowed to expire. Again, we've been watching really closely with this cell in particular, especially when it comes to the lightning. It is really weakened at this point. As far as the lightning count has at least died down a lot at this point, so that's some good news there. But continue to expect some heavy rainfall here as we continue to go forward over the next several hours here.
We are wondering, can we take a closer look at Kilgore again?
Yes, let's get over to Kilgore real quick. Again, kind of going to be around the same story here. We got some showers in the area right now. Non-severe thunderstorms at this point, and just really just showers. Not seeing any lightning at this time, heading over towards Longview and Kilgore. Just this line of showers that extends all the way from the northwestern parts of Longview and Gregg County all the way further towards Noonday, south of Tyler. Just a shower at this point, but we're not looking at any lightning at this time. But there's Kilgore right there. Let's put this into motion. It is kind of moving into the northern parts of Kilgore. You might see a little bit of a sprinkle out there, but looks like the heaviest could actually miss Kilgore to the north. So that's some good news there. But we're not looking at any lightning at this time, just rain. So that is what we're continuing to track, these individual cells that are all firing up ahead of this cold front because of this really unstable environment. And again, like Brett was saying, if we're going to see any sort of severe weather, or I should say any sort of tornadic activity, the best shot is going to be over deep East Texas. That's where the most wind shear is. Wind shear is a really key factor in getting tornadoes, and it looks like the most wind shear is going to be over deep East Texas. You can see some of those heavier cells there. There's a lot of moisture in that direction. We have a lot of these individual cells that have that potential to rotate, so we are going to continue to watch that very closely.
Yeah, that's a great point. The cell, especially the one coming out of Houston County right now that Joel was talking about, moving into this area here into Angelina County. Let's time this one out and figure out how fast it's moving. It does look like there's some lightning with it. Otherwise, over toward Lufkin, I'm not seeing any lightning, so that's just a rain shower. Remember, you can't call it a thunderstorm if you don't have thunder with it, right? Just rain. But that is a thunderstorm right now that is moving towards Centralia and Helmick and Apple Springs, and there within the next, say, half hour as it moves northeast, I think at about 25 miles an hour. It doesn't look like there's a ton of rotation. It's a rather large cell right now. Could be putting down quite a bit of rain. If we wanted to check, it looks like the rotation in there is it's marginal, kind of weak.
It's really weak at this point. Maybe just some definitely some inflow winds going in there. A decently strong updraft, as we like to call it. That's the air going up into the thunderstorm. So you got the moisture and the warm air going up, and that cools and condenses, and we get just this huge thunderstorm that we're watching for really, really closely at this point.
Yeah, let's take a look at the rainfall rate in that, as it did look like it had quite a bit of heavier rain. Looking at wind shear there, we're not seeing much, or it may take a moment for that to load in there, but we're looking at estimated rainfall, and there it goes. So you're looking at right now here in, I think, the last hour or so, there might be an inch of rainfall, so inch an hour rainfall rates currently near Groveton and south of Kennard. So it's raining really hard, southern Houston County, northern parts of Trinity County. And that cell, again, was moving up northeastward toward Apple Springs, also toward Cressy. So that's going to be there within the next few minutes. So it's going to really pound down on your roof. You're going to hear that. If you need to go outside and roll up those windows on the car, roll them up now. Get it done before that rain gets there, before that dangerous lightning gets there. If you need to get the dog into shelter, take care of that right now. Groveton seeing some moderate rain, but it's going to be increasing in intensity. All right, so we're going to go back to our reflectivity or at normal radar, what we usually watch here, and you can see that thunderstorm with the lightning and quite a bit of lightning, and that is dangerous lightning headed toward Lufkin. So we didn't have Lufkin on the track. We had Apple Springs on the track, but if you extrapolate that out, it likely makes it to Lufkin probably within the hour, should it hold together, and it most likely will. It's moving northeast about 25 miles an hour, so Centralia would be in the path of that. So if you just said, okay, so 25 miles, it's west of Lufkin. If it keeps moving at that pace, another 25 miles would be another hour or so, and so it should be into Lufkin within an hour. So at about 4:15, 4:30, very heavy rainfall, lots of lightning. This is what we call our Titan indicator. This is using an algorithm to look inside the storm, and it's basing it off of the energy that it sees, and so it applies or puts numerical numbers or numerical data on what we would see. So if we look at that, you'll be able to see, 1, the rainfall rate, 2, is there any hail in that storm? What's the probability of hail? What's the probability of seeing any kind of wind damage with that? And right now, there's a little bit of hail there. Marble-sized hail, getting closer to nickel-sized hail, so we might get a severe thunderstorm warning issued. This will be coming out of the Houston office if we get one. Houston, Texas National Weather Service office is the one that is in charge of issuing warnings for Houston and Trinity County. So we'll wait and see if they issue one. But that little cell there with potentially some nickel-sized hail, and if we click on our Titan indicator, we'll be able to see the chances that there's actually some hail, maybe that size in there. So there it is. It says maximum hail size about 2 inches. So that's estimated. Again, we're using mathematical probabilities to figure out the size of the hail. Now the probability that there's hail in there is 100%. So yeah, I would agree that there's likely some at least peed and marble-sized hail inside that cell. The probability of it reaching quarters is less. And so, you know, looking at the cell overall, it could, if everything came together, produce maybe a golf ball sized hailstone, but it looks like it's not. Wind impact's about 1.7. Right now it says a 0 on the tornado impact. The hail impact is the highest, and the flooding impact around a 4, because we talked about the heavy rainfall with this storm right here producing maybe an inch an hour rainfall rates. Lovelady, you are in the clear now from that cell. Fordyce, you're getting out of that, so the rain is letting up soon. Groveton still raining pretty hard. Rain picking up now in intensity at Apple Springs, and will pick up in intensity up at Pollock within the next, say, 20 minutes. And then that lead shower now has already moved into Lufkin, but this is just sort of a sort of announces its presence. This is the one that tells you to get inside because it's raining. The thunderstorm is still on the way into parts of Angelina County, and that will be arriving within the next, say, hour or so. We're going to stay on till roughly 3:30, so if you have any questions, please post those on our Facebook page. We appreciate you streaming with us on our Facebook page and on CBS19 Plus and on our YouTube channel. And again, on the YouTube channel, the way we reach folks is through subscribers and you sharing videos like this. And so if you want to go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, we can easily keep you updated as we go through the secondary severe weather season here in fall. And then we get into the winter season. And should we have, of course, any type of wintry weather, which can occur in East Texas, we would be on streaming with this information from time to time to give you the latest updates. This heavy thunderstorm here moving out of Newton County up into southern Sabine County. That one is a very large thunderstorm. This thunderstorm here was warned earlier as it moved across Cherokee County, Nacogdoches, and southern parts of Rusk County. It is now getting set to move into Shelby and Panola County. Looks like it may have a nice little cloud feature as it's arriving. There could be this mini sort of shelf cloud, so a little lowering cloud that might look a little ominous. Not the wall cloud. If there was going to be a wall cloud, it would be back here. But this will be sort of a sharply defined leading cloud that is kind of pointing down toward the ground as cooler air of the thunderstorm flows down and then out, and then it encounters this warm, humid air. Well, net condensation outpaces net evaporation at that point, and so you get that sharp little well-defined cloud. So if you live in Dotson, if you live in Garrison, and you can safely take a photo of this, It's going to be really cool to see. Please take that photo, share that with us on CBS19 on the webpage, or email us weather@cbs19.tv. We'd love to see that formation of that cloud, because that's probably a really neat looking feature here this afternoon. Lightning is starting to pick up a little bit here east of Laneville, west of Dotson. So Dotson, you're going to start getting a lot of rainfall. I'm going to guess that the rain inside that storm is pretty heavy. If we want to go ahead and take a look at the estimated rainfall inside that, in that cell right now. So it'll take a minute for it to load in. Got to get that data. It's being downloaded from the cloud, and it pops in there. And so that storm is approaching Dotson, but look what it did back here toward Laneville, about an inch of rainfall in a short period of time. Now, if you were watching yesterday, meteorologist Joe Robinson was showing you at noon, the heavier rain was starting to take shape over east of, say, the Highway 69 corridor and out to the east, and the new data that came in yesterday and last night was certainly painting a heavier rainfall event for some of the counties out to the east of Tyler, out toward Carthage, down toward Garrison, over toward Aiken, and down toward Nacogdoches. And so we're kind of seeing that right now. We'll take heavy rainfall anytime. We don't need any tornadoes, certainly don't need any wind damage so far. I've not heard of any kind of wind damage. Let's go back to radar and maybe just look inside this cell for any type of hail. We were looking at maybe a little bit of marble-sized hail with that cell earlier, and it looks like it's even smaller here. So the crossroads, this is 59 coming down into Nacogdoches. I believe this is going to be 84 coming from the west through Mount Enterprise and over toward Caledonia. So right there, 84 and 259 near FM 3055. If you live anywhere in that, you're probably hearing the ping of hail on your roof right now. In May, it's not big enough to cause any damage to your car. Down into that pocket change sized hail, so pennies, nickels. I doubt it's not to a quarter, so it's pretty tiny, but still makes a lot of noise, makes a big racket. If it hailed hard enough for a long enough period of time, it would almost look like it snowed a little bit, but I'm not sure we'll get that type of intensity in the hail. But 259 and 84 is right now where that's happening. I said 59, I meant 259. So go back to reflectivity and you'll see that heavier. So now that hail core itself looks like it's shifted to the east, more closer to Lawsonville, but the lightning continues to increase in this. So the rainfall rates are increasing in that cell, and the rain is really pounding down as it moves toward Dotson and Caledonia now, and Arlem, and just to the northwest of Garrison and Timpson. Looks like it's just about ready to move out of Rusk County and into Panola County, and maybe into Shelby County and Panola County at this time. A little wider view of everything. You're starting to hear the rain here outside the television station. So in Tyler itself, we'll come back and talk about Tyler. We just had this brief little kind of burst of rain. Tyler's on the western edge of this tornado watch, and we may have had the worst of the cells pass. So I don't want to say that we're technically in the clear yet, but unless something else develops back here to the southwest of Tyler and starts moving toward us, we may now start to look out to the east and really take more focus on this area toward 259, all the way down toward Nacogdoches and southern Cherokee County for problematic cells that could be tornadic. Still need to watch this one moving out of Upshur County, Wood County, toward Camp and Franklin County. Well, let's go up to Franklin County. And there's a pretty good cell right there across Titus County, right on Interstate 30 through Morris County. Linden, really heavy thunderstorm here. Now, I did notice some modeling data yesterday that showed a pretty curious looking thunderstorm moving through Cass County at about 4:30, meaning it looked like it was trying, at least in the modeling data, to almost pick up a little hook on it. So we'll see if that still has a chance. It is moving into the area that has about the best chance out of anywhere, except for that one part of Deep East Texas, to see a quick spin up today. And there is a severe thunderstorm warning northwest or north of Shreveport, just east of Texarkana into southern Arkansas. And there is a tornado warning up there northeast of Prescott right now, and it's an observed tornado. I know it's not in our area, but if we want to go ahead and take a look at that. Up there toward Prescott, it's got the dashed lines, meaning that it is observed. That's in Clark County, Arkansas, toward Arkadelphia. So that's right through Interstate 30. So if you know anybody that travels from Texarkana toward Little Rock, they've got to go right through Arkadelphia, and that is where there is a tornado warned cell at this time toward Gurdon and over here toward Round Hill. So if we let's take a look at the velocity on that and just see, they had a tornado possible tag on it, and then they've got, well, maybe that's what it is. So they did tornado possible tag on it and then went with the tornado warning. And that goes until 4 o'clock, so another half hour. It looks like there is a little bit of a couplet there. Again, this is in southwest Arkansas, but.
Right, and it's also radar indicated as well.
Yeah, so, yeah, when I first looked at it, I saw the little dashed line in the red until we zoomed down into it and could see that it was just a severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible tag, and then the tornado warning was issued. So yeah, it's just radar indicated at this time. But that does include Clark, Dallas, Hot Spring, and Pike County. By the way, my in-laws are over in Hot Spring County today. Yeah, they are at the Crater of Diamonds National Park looking for big diamonds. So hopefully, and we got the word, we told them there could be thundering and storming there, so hopefully they are taking shelter. I will find out from my wife in a little while. Yeah.
We have a question over what can be expected in Van as well as Overton.
Okay, yeah. So right now, we take a look further to the west. Right now, I mean, we do have some thunderstorms off to the west. And as Brett was saying, it looks like, unless something really happens with some of these cells over in that general area, basically our western parts of the viewing area, right at this point, we're not expecting too much out of these cells at this time. At least some moderate to heavy rainfall. Nothing severe at this time. Certainly some heavy thunderstorms are going to be a possibility. As for Overton, as we take a look closer to there, and we'll put this into motion as well, we have this cell just to the northwest. It doesn't have any lightning, but just be ready for any possible lightning strikes, especially within the next 15 minutes. You know, these thunderstorms, despite some of them not really having, you know, these severe type levels to them, still expect some possible lightning strikes, which also can be pretty dangerous. Lightning can strike about 20 miles away from a thunderstorm. That has been possible. So you definitely, if you hear thunder, definitely make sure to get inside immediately, because you are close enough to be struck by lightning at that point, especially given how far these lightning strikes can happen. But at this time, right now, not seeing any lightning with this. It's just kind of a light to moderate shower at this point, but we're going to keep you updated as we go forward here.
All right, can you go back up to Morris, Titus, and Franklin County, Mount Pleasant area? National Weather Service has what they call a special weather statement out on that one cell that's moving toward Naples and Dangerfield. So that has some 30 to 40 mile an hour wind gusts in it, some dangerous lightning, some small hail. So they don't have it up to a warning yet, but it is just a notch below warning. Just wanted to bring folks up to date. Maybe we can put a little time on that too. There's some folks up at Dangerfield State Park, of course, over toward Naples. So let's track that storm as it moves. Looks like it's moving almost due east toward Dangerfield. Out of Ore City, I know there were some folks asking about Ore City. Looked like there were some thunderstorm possibilities there.
You know how fast it's going?
I think they said 35 miles an hour.
35 miles an hour,
to the east.
okay.
So that looks like that's kind of, that would take it into Rocky Branch within the next few minutes. Naples at 3:38, Hughes Springs 3:44, Cornett at 3:51, Marietta around 3:55, Bryan's Mill at 4 o'clock, and Cusseta at 4:05. So getting closer to the Louisiana border by that time, and also moving over toward Linden and Atlanta also within the next hour or so. Any other questions? I know a lot of folks are curious about these storms this afternoon.
Just taking one last look over at Houston County.
Yeah, we'll go off to the south and west over Houston County. We got this large storm that's heading out of Houston County, actually over northern parts of Trinity County and heading towards Angelina County. This one in particular is not severe, but I would say Houston County, depending on where you are, western and central parts of Houston County, you got a couple of showers there. Not looking at any severe threat at this time. And even with this heavier thunderstorm here that's moving out of Kennard and heading towards Apple Springs and even towards Lufkin. So heads up if you were in Lufkin, you're already seeing some heavy rain, but you have this bigger thunderstorm that's producing a lot of lightning at this time. I would say right now, Houston County dealing with a couple of showers for the most part, but as we take a look at northern parts of Trinity County into the areas of Apple Springs, south of Kennard, and just west of Lufkin, heads up, you got a strong thunderstorm with that. Do we have a special weather statement with that, Brett, or is this, do they leave it alone?
I'm going to have to switch off discussion rooms in a second. Hold on.
Oh, that's
That
okay,
is,
yeah.
That is going to be out of, where'd you say? That's down in Houston County?
Houston County and northern parts of Trinity County.
I'm going to keep an eye on the storm near Crockett in Houston County. It's not wildly well organized, but decent intense right now. So yes, there is until 3:45.
Okay, 3:45.
Yeah, strong thunderstorm will impact central Houston County, moving northeast 25 miles an hour. They're saying the possible hazard in that is wind gusts to 40 miles an hour, pea-sized hail, but of course that's radar indicated also. Gusty winds could knock down some tree limbs and knock down some unsecured objects.
Okay. How fast was that going again?
25.
25. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's the general storm movement today is northeast at about 25 miles per hour. But yeah, so that would put it in Lufkin by around 4 o'clock there. So 3:58 p.m. You got Clawson also at 3:51, Hudson at 3:48. So we're going to continue to watch that pretty closely as it moves closer there. But again, it's just sub-severe. It's strong, but not severe. We're talking 40 to 45 mile an hour winds, maybe perhaps some small hail in there, moving very slow at 25 miles per hour. Certainly a lot of rainfall with this, so I expect some minor ponding in some locations.
And then can we get one Mineola update?
Sure, let's take you on up there. Mineola. Okay, last I checked, there were maybe a couple of showers there. Okay, there's Mineola. So we have looks like this shower in particular is kind of weakening, but no real thunderstorms in the area, but certainly some rain here and around the area as we look at Mineola. Yeah, see that shower that was just north of Van, really starting to weaken at this point. Could catch a couple of sprinkles as it continues to move further to the northeast into Mineola, but right now it looks like it's weakening quite a bit. And then we turn our attention off to the west over Terrell, heading into Van Zandt County and Rains County. We got this small line of thunderstorms there, not really looking severe at this time, but we certainly have some rainfall that we're going to be watching for at this time.
I wonder if can you go down and check the Cape? We have live Cape on here. It should be at the bottom there. Just wondering. I thought it was loaded in. Perhaps it's not. Maybe it's in the. Is
in the pallets.
Yeah, is it there? Just want I think right there.
Thunderstorm energy.
Yeah, thunderstorm energy.
Okay,
Let's
perfect.
see if it's back there. I'm wondering if we've popped some of that energy back there to the northwest. A little bit.
A little bit. Yeah,
Little bit.
Let's go to now. Okay, yeah. So it's especially with these thunderstorms that have already moved through, it's really taking advantage of some of this energy already, and it looks like the highest amount of energy is over deep East Texas, especially as we go further to the south. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning here.
Can I click
Okay.
on that?
Yeah, you bet.
Let's see where that's going to come out. It is going to be, all right, so we've
Okay.
got Panola, Rusk, and Shelby County. So it's on that cell that we've been tracking throughout the afternoon. All right, let's see. It looks like there's a fairly decent hail core southeast of Dotson right now. So let me I'll advance to the next graphic. This will pop us out of there. That's the energy that we're looking at. If you want to go back to reflectivity, we can drill down on that storm that is warned right now. So yeah, that looks like it's got, well, it looks like there's a decent amount of some rear flanking winds coming out of that, with that inflow coming into it.
Curious about the yeah. It's if there's any sort of rotation, at least it's really weak.
Yeah, or
at
broad.
this time. Or just really broad. But at the very least, some heavy rainfall and gusty winds.
What do we think on hail on that?
Let's take a look here. Hail.
Looked like there was a decent hail core. Yeah, right over
Yeah,
Caledonia.
Caledonia, yeah, looks like at least up to
Ooh,
nickel size,
okay.
Perhaps maybe isolated quarters inside this on the western edge of Caledonia there.
Just moving out of Lawsonville. So Lawsonville, you're okay. Caledonia, you're getting hailed on. Let's time that and see when that gets up toward Gary City and maybe Tenaha and Timpson. They're all within the yellow box, which consultants hate it when we call them polygons. But the yellow box, so everybody understands, it is moving 25 miles an hour. So Meldrum, Tenaha, and Paxton. So Meldrum 340, Paxton at 401, Tenaha 351. So you're going to get some hail. What did we think? What was it, nickels?
It was nickel, maybe some isolated quarters
So that's
within that.
That's
yeah.
probably why we have the severe thunderstorm warning on that. I did not read the whys from
I'll take a look at that real quick. Okay, so yeah, at least up to quarter-size hail. 60-mile-per-hour winds are going to be the two main threats here. Tornado threat is not quite there, but at least expect some gusty winds, quarter-size hail, and certainly some heavy winds as well. So that's what you can expect with this severe thunderstorm warning in particular. Again, Panola, Rusk, and Shelby County within that warning until 4:45 p.m., and it'll be in the Meldrum area at 3:40, and then also in Paxton by 4 o'clock. So we're going to watch this really closely. And one thing I want to just kind of mention as well is you see these bright colors on radar. There can be some gusty winds even outside of these colors. So you might be looking at the radar and be like, oh, the rain's not going to be here until this amount of time. Well, you can get these things called gust fronts, which is basically this cold outflow that comes from the thunderstorms, and they can cause some wind damage even ahead of the thunderstorm. So that's something you kind of have to keep in mind as well. So Meldrum, Paxton, probably going to be getting in on the gust front here pretty soon with this thunderstorm. So expect these winds to kind of pick up at least within the next 5 minutes or so before the actual rain and all this crazy stuff gets to you. So that's something to keep in mind.
Question over in Gladewater. How's that looking?
Okay, let's take a look over Gladewater. So we'll take a look. So that severe thunderstorm warning continues to be in effect until 4:45. Okay. Let's take a look here. Trying to find it. There we go. Okay. So, Gladewater not in the severe thunderstorm warning. We got one lightning strike at this point. So it's borderline a shower and thunderstorm. So what we got going on right now is just this long shower here, moving from southwest to northeast. I would definitely expect some ponding in some areas, especially given this line and how it's kind of flowing with the actual storm motion. Likely going to be seeing rain for a long period of time over parts of Gladewater. So expect some minor flooding in some locations, at least within the next 20 to 30 minutes, as far as how much time and given how long this actual storm is. So I would definitely give it, again, another maybe 15 to 20 minutes until it's finally moved off to the northeast.
All right, can we go back down to the Shelby County storm? Again, that warning went till 4:45, so that's got about another hour on it. Just looked at some of the data inside, and it looks on like velocity. There may be some 40 to 45 mile an hour winds being sampled in that. And I know that's below severe limits at this time, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there couldn't be a pocket where it is sampling closer to 58. In fact, now I'm starting to pick up some 53s and 51s throughout that cell. So some very gusty winds northwest of Gary City or southwest of Gary City. And also, I believe that's going to be just north of Timpson and Tenaha. So it may be a situation where it's raining so hard that the rain is just bringing down the cool air and that more dense air aloft, and then it's just rushing down to the surface in that thunderstorm at this time. So wind impact, is at a 7.7. So that's definitely a little bit of hail and wind in that. We think near Caledonia we had marble-sized hail, but the winds may be getting close to severe limits at this time. So we'll see. There's a pretty good, stronger downdraft on that. And then I'm looking, just want to look at the backside of that storm. Now, still pretty broad rotation north of Garrison outside of that storm. All right, so maybe we have an hour to go on that other warning, so we'll take a break here and get some things together, reassess, and then answer some more questions maybe off air. But then we'll come back on within the next maybe 15, 20 minutes do another update for you. We appreciate you spending all your time with us this afternoon, tracking these cells as they move through East Texas. Again, severe thunderstorm warning, Panola, Rusk, Shelby County. It's going to be the south, very eastern portion of Rusk County. It's almost out of the area. This is just south of Carthage, so not impacting Carthage at this time, but moving through southern Panola County and then eventually out of the area. Looks like it's very northern Shelby County. So Center, you are not included in the warning, or anywhere south of Center, not in that warning either. So appreciate you guys taking time out, watching us here on the Facebook page, also on the YouTube channel, and streaming on CBS 19 Plus. We'll see you again in a few minutes. Until then, have a great afternoon.